try and get to it, no second guessing. Been going ape shit, money got me flexing. Stunt like a bitch when I'm up in the section. Just re-duck, came back with a bunch. Used to sell lows, premium and runts. Need cash on deck, I don't do fronts. Up every morning getting took for lunch. Keep putting methazine, hot tech and tuss. Niggas funny style just gave me a hunch. Pull a move, I'ma leave a nigga slump. Bipper stay trapping, don't believe in luck. Bipper stay trapping, don't believe in luck. Bipper stay trapping, don't believe in luck. I walk by faith and not by sight. Took time, ain't happen overnight. Pay homage and I took that advice. Cost to be the boss, so I paid that price. Bipper steady bippin', believe in the hype. Watches and chains, flooded with ice. Custom bracelet, keep me shine bright. Hop out the yo down, ace like a eye. Ain't close for a week, tryna trap it out. Roll a dice, tryna win, hope I don't crap out. Finessing and trapping, tryna make it out. No days off, cause I know them plays out on a paper route. Cause broke ain't an option. To my last heartbeat, gon' chase every dollar. Always bounce back, overcame.
Hey, it's FYF Sports Minutes Lamont. We are back with another podcast episode, playoff recap video here today. Doing a little bit of NBA film study as we go over our selected game of the day. As you can see, it was the Dallas Mavericks versus the Los Angeles Clippers. We really thought this was a pivotal series out of all the games that were played today, primarily because of how these two teams matched up. And then basically the rivalry that was created between these two teams last year when the Clippers eliminated the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, the Dallas Mavericks had some injuries and a number of other issues that really prevented them from excelling in that series, although they put up a formidable fight. I really wanted to see how Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and that Dallas Maverick team bounced back in Game 1, going up against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Before we get into all of those highlights and our thoughts on that game and some of the other matchups of the day, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video if you haven't done so already. Again, the grind is real. Grinding to 25K. We're almost there. So, again, we're going to keep pumping out these videos. The playoffs are here, so we're going to have a lot of content coming in a short amount of time. So, the only way you can keep up with all the videos and all the action is you follow us on social media. All the links to our social media are going to be in the description of the video. Not just follow us on social media. Smash the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on here at FYF Sports. We got some new merch that dropped. Make sure you guys visit the merch store as well and check some of that new merch out. But today, epic matchup, big time matchup, superstars of the league. You're talking about Luka Doncic, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Kristaps Porzingis, heavy hitters. Now, this Dallas Maverick team, they started off the season kind of sluggish, dealing with a lot of injuries. They really finished the season strong, getting up to that 6th seed. And then you're talking about a Clipper team. They've been steady all year. Not really too high, not really too low. They just been right there. Right there. And this team, we all assumed that this team would be very, very formidable in the playoffs. Now, they did drop from that 3 slot down to the 4 slot after losing their last 2 games of the season. And many people felt that the Clippers lost those two games intentionally to avoid the Los Angeles Lakers. But it ultimately put them in the slot where they have to go up against the Dallas Mavericks. Did the Dallas Mavericks take offense to that? Did they take that as shots fired? The only way we would know how the Dallas Mavericks actually felt about this particular matchup and some of the things that the Clippers were accused on is we wanted to see how this team came out and played from the start. So there are a number of things I want to point out in this particular video. We had some subscribers talking about, the Los Angeles Clippers. They're going to come out. They're going to play the triangle. They're going to destroy the Dallas Mavericks. Hold the horses right there. We got to do some NBA film study on that because, again, the last time I checked the triangle offense, the Los Angeles Clippers did not have the personnel to run the triangle offense effectively. On the flip side of that, the Dallas Mavericks, I feel, and that's the team that I picked to actually win this series, I feel that they not only have I think they have the deeper roster. If you're talking about superstar caliber players, I think the Clippers went out with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. But when you talk about depth and the number of bodies that you can throw at this Clipper team, the Dallas Mavericks definitely went out on that, and they have much more versatility with the subs that they can bring in. But you know what? Let's go ahead and just, let's get to the drawing board. Let's break down this footage and really dive into this particular matchup. And I really want you guys to watch how Luka Doncic broke down the Los Angeles Clippers tonight in this Game 1 matchup in Los Angeles. All right, we have the matchup right here. Clippers, Dallas Mavericks. One thing I really wanted to watch for early in this matchup is how the Mavericks started. Much like
that's it. The Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas beats the Clippers 113-103. And there you have it right there, man. Dallas Mavericks win this one 113-103. Really in a game that they control from start to finish. We saw the Clippers make a number of runs. They just couldn't sustain. They couldn't sustain. And they still cannot figure out how to defend the pick and roll. This is something that Jamal Murray and Jokic really tore the Clippers up with this last year. And they still can't figure it out. Remember, defending the pick and roll is about energy, effort, and communication. You're not just going to beat the pick and roll in today's NBA with good defenders. All right, the way screens are set now, all right, the disadvantages that it puts the defensive player at, all right, the way fouls are called, you have to overly communicate. And when your two leaders, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, are the two most quiet players on the court, when Pat Beverly and Marcus Morris and Rajon Rondo, reserves, not even the premier guys on this team, when they're the loudest players, their voice doesn't carry as much weight. And we saw that today. We're going to go up to the stats. Kawhi Leonard with a great game. Kawhi Leonard, 26 points, 4 steals, 10 rebounds. Solid game for him, but he was still a minus 15 on the night. That tells me right there he was lacking defensively. We look at Paul George, 23, 6 and 5 assists. I mean, a solid game. I think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard did really what they needed to do. Those are about the numbers I thought they would have. It's really the others. That really let you down on the night. When you got Marcus Morris, 4 points on the night. You got Zubac, 8 points on the night. Pat Beverly gave you 10. Batum, 11. Serge Ibaka, only 8. Rondo, 11 off the bench. He hit some timely threes, really kept him alive. Reggie Jackson, 2 points. Terrence Mann played a few minutes, didn't get any stats up. But you don't use Patrick Patterson. DeMarcus Cousins doesn't play a minute. Luke Kennard doesn't play a minute. And Amir Coffey doesn't play a minute. I think this is definitely a game where Luke Kennard could have stepped in and maybe guarded guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. Or Josh Richardson. He didn't see a minute. DeMarcus Cousins, he potentially could have came in and banged with Kristaps Porzingis a little bit. I mean, at least some minutes. How DeMarcus Cousins is a DNP in a playoff game, I do not understand that at all. And how guys like Reggie Jackson and Terrence Mann get minutes over Luke Kennard, DeMarcus Cousins and Patrick Patterson, again, is one of the mysteries of the world. But, maybe Tyronn Lue has something up his sleeve that we don't know about. On the flip side, we got the Dallas Mavericks. Almost all of their starters were in double figures. You had 31, Luka Doncic with a 30-point triple-double, 30, 10, and 11. Kristaps Porzingis, quiet game from Porzingis. He was really good defensively, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Tim Hardaway Jr., I told you guys, extremely efficient, 5 and 9 from the three-point line with 21 points. Dorian Finney-Smith, man, I like this dude's versatility. He reminds me of a poor man's Jeremy Grant. He came with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and then off the bench, you had Jalen Brunson and Josh Richardson, 15 and 8 points consecutively. But while other guys like Nico Melli, Dwight Howard, and Willie Cauley-Stein, they also chipped in off the bench. They didn't get much points-wise, but at least, they're there. They give versatility. They give you a different look, and you can throw some different looks at them. But this was a game that Luka Doncic in that starting lineup, they really controlled from start to finish. There was really no answer. And this is a very deep Dallas team because there were some guys on this bench. We want to look at Boban and Trey Burke, who I felt could have also gotten minutes in this game, and we've yet to see him in this series yet. I don't think the Clippers have that type of luxury. I don't think they have that type of luxury or flexibility. I want you guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Los Angeles Clippers? What do you think about their effort on defense? What do you think about the supposed triangle offense that they're attempting to run? If that's what you want to call it. I've said, I made a video months ago telling you guys they don't have the personnel to run it, primarily because Paul George and Kawhi Leonard love to play out of position. With Kawhi Leonard being primarily a mid-range guy, for whatever reason, these guys find themselves. They are two high-Q offensive players. For whatever reason, they find themselves out of position offensively, turning into ball stoppers, and it makes this supposed triangle offense that they're trying to run highly ineffective, man. But you know what? There were more playoff games on the night. There was a great win by the Clippers, but there were more wins on the night. We're going to run down a few of those highlights. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and go to those highlights right now of some of the other playoff games of the evening.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than this. Old Milwaukee and Miami, rematch of last year's conference semis. That was all Miami. We're going to go to the fourth quarter. Scary moment for the Bucks. Jimmy Butler's got his playoff hairdo. Bam Adebayo sets the screen on Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you're going to see Giannis is in pain. He was already struggling with his shot. Hurts his elbow right there. He get treated on the sideline, put on they spit on it, and then they put a shooting sleeve on it. At least that's how they did it when I was in high school. All right, just over a minute to play. Bucks up one. Giannis is at the free throw line, and wait, what's going on there? So they call a 10-second violation. I mean, his free throw struggles are well documented. I mean, if this ref worked Major League Baseball, the games would be a lot shorter. Okay. He's got the count. The Miami bench was screaming for the call. You don't see that. You would not think you'd see it against an MVP. We'll be asking the countdown crew about that later in the show. 9 seconds left. Bucks up 2. Giannis back at the line. Made the first miss. He was 6 of 13 from the line. He had 26 points on 27 shots, 18 rebounds. Played 45 minutes. It's hard to get down on a guy who plays as hard and as well as Giannis does, but the free throws were definitely an issue in Game 1. Jimmy Butler's shooting was an issue in Game 1, but not right there. He was 4 of 22, but that's one of the 4. That tied it up and sent it to overtime. Gets by Antetokounmpo, and so we got bonus basketball. The Heat made 15 more threes than the Bucks. They made 20 threes in this game, but they need Duncan Robinson to hit that one with under a minute to go. They're down 1. And how about Drew Holiday? His instincts for the long rebound all the way the other way. Hits the bucket right there. But then here come Miami. Told you about the threes. Butler, no. Ariza to Dragic. Corner, yes. Tied at 107. Coach Bud does not call a timeout, lets him play. Here they come. You see Giannis down in the paint. You got to respect him down there. Middleton. He'd struggled with his last handful of shots. No struggle right there. The West LA fadeaway. Outside, the crowd celebrates. Turn it up to 11. Fans in the stands, fans outside. Middleton entertains them with 27, and the Bucks 109-107. Right, Damian Lillard said he believes Nikola Jokic should win the NBA MVP. That's not a mind game. As the kids say, game recognizes game. They also say player recognizes player, but I probably shouldn't say that. All right, Carmelo Anthony, former Nugget, came into the game. The fans that were there booed him. And, I mean, he put it in their mug. He had 12 points in less than 5 minutes. Vince Carter said he was hot as fish grease. He had 15 to lead all Portland scorers in the first half. Lillard had 14. Jokic, what did he do? Well, he does everything. I mean, he is so fun to watch. He was 9 of 16 in the first half, 22 points. Does it from the outside, does it from the inside. Third 20-point first half in his playoff career. That's one more than the former Nugget, Carmelo Anthony. Denver led by 3 at the halftime. Third quarter was all Big Sky. And that's Lillard. Uses the screen right there, ties it at 73. That was an 11-2 run for Portland. Portland had 38 points in the third quarter. Lillard had 15 of them. The step-back Bobby Jack, Campazzo was all over him. I mean, Lillard scored or assisted on 24, Portland's 38 in the third, and the Trailblazers were up by 10 heading into the fourth. But here come the Nuggets. Michael Porter, 11 for 11 on 2-point shots. Unfortunately for Denver, he was 1 of 10 on threes. Jamal Murray not playing. Of course, he, out with the terrible injury. Denver made it a 4-point game, but Nurk, the former Nugget, to Anthony, the former Nugget, who finished with 18. Carmelo did. Portland up 7, and then Lillard. In your face. 34 points, 13 assists, 10 of 25 shooting, 5 of 12 from 3. Trailblazers win game 1, 123-109. All right, in the matchup of two of the league's best playmakers, Lillard with the edge. Both players scored 34, but the Blazers shoot 13 for 15 off Lillard's passes, while the Nuggets shoot 1 for 10 off Jokic's. I'm not joking. 66 points Lillard created, the most in his playoff career.
There we have it right there. The other games of the night kind of went as I predicted. Portland is a team that I picked to win that series. Again, the lower seed comes out victorious. They win that game against, I would say, a short-handed Denver Nugget team. 123-109 on the road in dominant fashion, I would say. Damian Lillard looked unstoppable. Carmelo Anthony had a great first half, man. Really, 15 in the first half. And that's what you expect from, if you got a guy who can come off your bench and give you that and really kind of supplement and take some of that scoring weight off CJ and Dame, that's always going to be efficient. When we look at the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics, Boston, man, this was a game where they fought, man. They fought for 3 quarters. But, with Jaylen Brown out, with such a short bench, not many guys that Brad Stevens could really go to, this was just a game where they didn't have the scoring prowess. I mean, Kemba Walker struggled that game mightily. Looked like he couldn't make a shot. If Kemba Walker makes half those shots, Boston probably wins this game. He got a lot of good looks. He just couldn't make a shot. So when we look at that aspect right there, Boston loses to the Brooklyn Nets. All right, Boston loses to the Brooklyn Nets 104-93. We got obviously Dallas won that game, and then we got the Milwaukee Bucks victorious 109-107 in an overtime game. We saw Chris Middleton knock down a clutch jumper in overtime to propel the Milwaukee Bucks over the Miami Heat. Miami's making it competitive. The thing with this team right here is a lot of times Miami is a team that really builds off good performances, even if they lose. If they really pick up on some things that they did well, they do a really good job of coming out in that follow-up game, capitalizing on it, and potentially stealing the game on the road. Are the Bucks going to be able to sustain, fix some of the mistakes that they made? Giannis, again, some low IQ plays late game, almost cost them that game. Luckily, Chris Middleton was able to save them. Is Drew Holiday going to play a little bit better? Some of those role players over there, they're going to be able to make shots. I really want to see how they come out game 2, because Miami is a really good team at making adjustments, coming out and capitalizing on your biggest mistakes, man. Today we got some games coming up. We got another slate of 4 playoff games. Great games. I'm gonna have my eye on some of these matchups. That Washington-Philly matchup, definitely gonna have my eye on that. Washington, we know they have a lot of firepower. Are they gonna be able to come out and play enough defense to hold Joel Embiid back in the post? We got the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns 2-7 matchup, which is really not necessarily a 2-7 matchup. The Phoenix Suns just got a terrible draw, but you got to play who's there. That's going to be that's probably going to be the premier matchup of the day, at least for us. We have the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks, more slow-paced game, defensively driven, 2 defensive-minded coaches in Nate McMillan and Tom Thibodeau. Curious to see who comes out victorious in that. We have the New York Knicks winning that. And then we have the Memphis Grizzlies and the Utah Jazz. Memphis coming off that crazy dominant performance by Ja Morant against the Golden State Warriors in that play-in game. Are they going to be able to build on that momentum and go into Utah and steal a game? I don't believe so. It's really going to come out. It's really going to be about Utah. Are they going to be able to make shots? We know they're going to defend, but can they make shots? In Memphis, will their youth get to them in these bright lights? A lot of these guys haven't been in these big playoff moments. None of them really. Are they going to be able to shine in these bright lights on the road against the number 1 team in the West? Really curious to see that. That's a game right there where I predict Utah could win by double figures. Might be one of the first blowouts. But Memphis has shown the prowess to stick around and have a lot of intestinal fortitude, even against the top teams in the NBA. So I look for them to potentially turn that into a fight, but I definitely see Utah winning that game as well. But you guys, in the comments, let me know your thoughts on the upcoming games. Let me know your thoughts on these past games from today's slate. Playoff basketball is here. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Cannot wait. Can't wait to see all the upsets. Just so you guys know, just so our predictions are locked in. Obviously, some of the upsets that we have. Obviously, I have the Lakers as a 7 seed winning. I have Dallas I have Dallas as a 5 seed beating the Clippers. I have Portland as a 6 seed beating the Denver Nuggets. So there are a number of upsets right there. I don't think Philly can beat Washington. I don't think Boston has enough firepower or ability to score the ball unless Kemba Walker can wake up and turn into UConn Kemba Walker. I don't think that they have enough firepower to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Utah Jazz, I expect them to roll over Memphis and New York, Atlanta. I can see New York winning that series in 7 games. But that could really go either way. It's really a toss-up. It's about making shots. Can those others on that Knicks team outside of Julius Randle make shots? If they can't, then I expect Atlanta to be victorious in that series as well. So we got those slated games coming up. Make sure you guys are playing your fantasy basketball. We are soon going to be partnering with a fantasy basketball or fantasy sports company. All right, so more news is going to be coming out with that company soon. So make sure, smash the notification bell, hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms because we got a lot of stuff coming with FYF Sports. The fantasy basketball sponsorships coming, the Body Armor sponsorships, the Manscaped sponsorship. I mean, this channel is growing a lot faster than we believe, and it's only because you guys are actively engaging in all the content, not just here on YouTube, but on Facebook, but on Twitch, and all of our other social media outlets. I mean, let's run our Instagram up. Let's try to get this Instagram up to 8,000 followers. I think we've been stuck around 5,000, 6,000 followers on IG for a while now. Let's really work to build that platform up so we can get a little more reach, get some new subscribers over here, and make these debates more epic than they already are. Right, but as FYF Sportsman, it's been another great NBA recap video. Make sure you guys spam up in the comments your thoughts on these predictions, on who you think's going to win. What are your thoughts on the Clippers, their performance? I mean, you guys know how we do in the comments. Just spam it up. We'll chop it up there. Hey, but until then, it's FYF Sports. We'll be back with more sports and new later. Until then, it's FYF Sports, and we out.
Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plug on to me, gotta get him off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full, I'm a road runner. Out in the morning, try and get to it, I'm a road runner. Hook on to me, gotta get him off, I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat, I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full, I'm a road runner. Can't set a weight, gotta get to it. Plug throwing loads, always run through them. Ain't talking money, I'ma ignore them. Stack money, check my stats, I perform. Road running, switching states like I'm torn. Everything foreign, hopping out foreigns. Always been awkward, never did the norm. Bippin' trying to win, then I go record. Ain't taking breaks, gotta get it all quick. Going pick up drop offs like lift. Listen, now my game plan to get rich. Shooters on deck, know the haters set. Face high stakes, came through in the clutch. Put on work, never thought giving up. Run up wrong, then my shooters gon' bust. Risk it all, that's why I got drag my nuts. Ayy, got money rolling, pockets swollen, diamonds frozen. We bring them hoes in. Money rolling, my pockets swollen, my diamonds frozen. We bring them hoes in. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get him off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road runner. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get him off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road runner. Don't get attitudes, I catch altitude. Flights every week, try and stick and move. And rentals with the pecs, fucking with the crew. Only up from here, I don't think I'll lose. 1,000 on the bags and the vacuum seals. Won't know I got it when it's vacuum sealed. Ride with it all day, try flipping pill. Young go get it like taking milk. Want some shit with Vontae, slick and trill. Tell you about them long nights in the field. Plug chose me off the trust we built. Gotta keep it on me, I ain't trying to get killed. Stack the honey bun, cause I'm a road runner. Switching lanes, I be road running. Taking risks, all I know is hustling. Week after week, lows coming. Do what I want, I stay stunting. Never going broke, fuck struggling. Was down bad, I know the struggle. Ain't gotta spin to get it on the muscle. Found a way to get my bands up. Gotta flow, watch it count up. Ain't gotta be around and watch it add up. Perkin' lean in me, bet I wear out. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get him off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road road runner. Out in the morning, try and get to it, I'm a road runner. Plug throw 'em to me, gotta get 'em off, I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat, I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full, I'm a road runner.